Hey guys, and welcome back to the last university edition of the Purpose Mentorship Program. As you guys know, we have Mr. 200M today. He's really gonna shut it down today. He's really gonna pour out wisdom. You know what? It's really a serious day today. It's really a serious session today, and he's basically going to be conquering how to build strong relationships at university, especially with friends, with mentors, whatever type of relationship. He's basically going to highlight how to actually build those strong relationships and how to actually have a firm foundation of those strong relationships. But before we move on, before we can go on, we just need you to invite at least five friends. Only five. Only one, two, three, four, five. Invite at least five friends to this online edition. Now, go forth and invite them. And I want you guys to type done after you've invited them. Make sure you take a screen print of this as well and go on Instagram and tag Global Purpose Enterprise at Andre Spence and at Mr. 200M. I'm telling you guys, it's a serious day today. It's a serious session today. So make sure you guys message at least five friends, just five, only five friends. Tag Global Purpose Enterprise, tag out Andre Spence, and tag Mr. 200M on Instagram to make sure that you get your chance, yes, you, to win a one-on-one with Mr. 200M, a 20 minutes conversation with Mr. 200M where you can just ask him any question that your heart desires. So that's what we will need you guys to do. But without further ado, as you guys know, our founder, Andre Spence, really found the mentorship program. And his story was he was basically seeking affirmation, attention, and approval. He sought gain, validation through possession, position, and power. And this drove him to a reality show called MTV, called Sweet 16. And then he moved on with a variety of jobs within the entertainment industry, like music, events, blogging, styling, marketing. And he was actually a mess. And he needed direction, clarity, and purpose. And this is really the sad reality for a lot of us today, especially a lot of you that are even watching today. But then, out of this, he gave birth to his purpose initiative. He gave birth to the purpose experience because before you can really understand your purpose, you need to experience your purpose. Sometimes you need to be exposed in an environment to really understand what it means to be in that environment. And then he created purpose leaders. But to really understand to be a leader, you need to understand your identity. If you don't know your brand, then you can't be a leader because people will just create a brand for you. Really and truly, if you don't know who you are, other people will tell you who you're not, and you accept who you're not simply because you lack knowledge of who you are. So that's why we have the purpose experience and the purpose leaders. And we also have the purpose podcast where Andre brings a lot of influence, mainly black influencers, to speak on the podcast and to just pour into us on the podcast. And we also have the purpose mentorship program, which is for people that are age 18 to 24, and I'm 18. And I could tell you guys, I've learned so much of this program. Like we've all learned so much of this program. I don't know about you, but if I was you, I'd end up joining the mentorship program because it's a serious initiative. It's a serious initiative. And the reason why he really started this mentorship program is because we saw that there was a problem for young black people. 70% of millennials thought it was vital to know their purpose, but yet still a majority actually don't. And 87%, even more shocking, of millennials want a life filled with purpose and meaning. And this is what the Purpose Mentorship Program offers you right on your plate. You understand your purpose and you understand how to live that purposeful life, to live that life filled with meaning and live that life filled with value. Also, added to the problem for our young black people, unfortunately, guys, I don't even like saying this part, but it's the sad reality. It's honestly the sad truth. Our black people have the highest unemployment rate of any ethnicity. Black people comprise just 3% of the UK population, yet 27.8% of people in youth custody are black. Suicide attempt rates for black youth has increased, while in other ethnicities they have dropped. And with regards to black people and black fathers, 18.9% of black households were made up of single parents with dependent children, the highest percentage of all ethnicity groups of this type of household. Clearly, there's a problem. But you see, around here, we don't just talk about the problems, we offer up the solution. And the solution is the Purpose Mentorship Program. Now, you see, the vision of the Purpose Mentorship Program is to really raise up those generation of servant leaders, the right form of leadership, leaders that actually know how to hold people out together and give birth to more leaders. And another vision is to also transform 100,000 young black lives. So if you want your life to be transformed, I'll keep saying it. I gotta repeat myself because I gotta repeat stuff that actually hold value and are actually valuable. Join the mentorship program. We have the mentorship pathway where Andre Spencer is the founder. We also have Mike, who is the creative director. So you either everyone first becomes a mentee, and then you can either go down the purpose ambassador route, or you could go down the purpose creative route. So if you're creative, you like creating assets, you like editing videos, you like doing stuff of that nature, you could go through the creative route, or you could go through the ambassador route and actually take a role of leadership within the global purpose enterprise. And one thing that is actually not there is pastoral mentors. Pastoral mentors basically have a group of 3 to 5 people. They just walk with us, they talk with us, they pray with us, they fast with us. Like, they do so many things with us to just make sure that someone is holding your hand along with this journey. On top of that, with 2 mentorship Mondays and a Bible study, you also get a pastoral mentor. So you basically have something every week. That's literally as it is. And we conquer 7 areas of life, which is finance, health, relationships, spirituality, career and business, personal development, and leadership, because we want you to be equipped with every single area of life. So, without a further ado, I'm just going to bring up a purpose ambassador to give a quick testimony, and he will basically tell you how the mentorship program has impacted his life.
Okay. Hi, Ezekiel.
You're right, Kwame.
I'm good. Very good.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
So, hi, everybody. My name is Kwame, and I'm a Purpose Ambassador of the Global Purpose Enterprise. I'm currently in my 3rd year of university. I'm studying chemical engineering at the University of Swansea. So before I joined the Global Purpose Enterprise, I honestly did not know what I wanted to do with my life. I did not know what career path I wanted to go down either. I'm the first of 2 other children. So as the oldest, I just wanted to set a good example for my siblings and show that it's possible to succeed in life, and also just show them the way and do just follow what my parents wanted me to do. So I picked the course I picked was by the influence of my father as well. So Global Purpose Enterprise has really helped me to change this mindset. It's helped me to focus on what God really wants me to do with my life. It's also helped me, this is through pastoral mentors, through Mentorship Mondays. Mentorship Mondays, we have an invited speaker that comes to speak to us on many different topics. And these help me just to change my mindset and focus on what God truly wants me to do for my life. And this mentorship program is really life-changing. It really helps you to properly focus and properly concentrate on God's word and what he wants for your life. And I just want to encourage everybody from the ages of 18 to 24, if you really want to make an impact in this world and change your life for the better, I encourage you to join this mentorship program. Thank you.
Thank you, Kwame. I want to see some claps for Kwame right now. I want to see, we can't go on. We can't move on until I see some claps. I know there's a delay, so we wait for the delay, but I want to see some claps. I want to see some fire for Kwame, because honestly, he's grown so much. He's grown so much, and now he's able to come here and speak with such confidence. Guys, we need to see some claps. We need to see some fire in the chat. We need to see something. I have to see something. We can't move on until we see something. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Vanessa. Now it's just starting to load. We need more claps. We need more claps. We need more appreciation. We need something. We need something in the chat. We need something in the chat. It's not easy to come up here. It's not easy to come up here and project yourself. It's not easy to come up here and talk. So we need some appreciation in the chat. I just want to say thank you, Kwame. Thanks you for telling your testimony. I thank you for even coming on today. So guys, without further ado, we're gonna basically highlight why relationships are important. And now we've got the fabulous, the one and only, we've got the purpose ambassador, Oreo. coming to pour into all of us today. How
Good
you feeling, or
Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. What's up? Good to be here. Always, always a pleasure to be here. I am taking over from the ever able, ever encouraging Ezekiel. Thank you so much for that introduction. As he said, I am a purpose ambassador. As Kwame's highlighted the importance of the mentorship program and what it has done for us as young people and what it has done for our growth and our development. For me, especially being, not knowing what a servant leader actually was. Sometimes, leadership, we tend to think that it's about being bossy. It's about, always finding, the way to be, do. But instead, like, it's about serving others. And that's one lesson that I've really, really, really honestly taking away from the purpose mentorship program. And this is what I want to encourage you to do. I want to encourage you to sign up, because I promise you, and take it from me, this is an Oreo guarantee. Take it from me that your life will change, because I'm telling you, when we have 2 meetings a month, when you with different influencers, different people teaching on relationships, teaching on faith, teaching on how to build finances, how to be a better person all around. When you have those twice a month alone, not to even talk of the pastoral mentors and how hands-on they are with us as, as their mentees, but they're also so helpful, so encouraging. So I implore you, and I'm encouraging you to go and sign up for the Purpose Mentorship Program on www.globalpurposeenterprise.com, right? So it is very, very, very important that you do so, because I'm telling you, your life will never be the same. It will not be the same. 100%. I can tell you that. Now, I want to encourage all of you. I want to see you guys go off in the chat, because I'm telling you, I'm not about to introduce this guy that you are seeing on the screen. I'm not about to introduce him without some enthusiasm. I need you to be enthusiastic as I am enthusiastic, because this one is about to change your life. I know if you went at the 12 p.m. session, you missed something. If you went at the 2 p.m. session, you missed something. If you went at the 4 p.m. session, you missed something. But you are here now. You are here now, and you're going to learn something. And I'm about to introduce someone that is a game changer. I promise you, this is someone that I followed since back in the YouTube days. I've been a fan from time, but this is someone that is really, I've seen like grow, I've seen become such a wonderful person. And so I'm about to introduce you to the lovely Mr. 200 meters. But before he comes on, I'm going to read something about him, because I'm telling you, this is not just something that someone you see or someone you just like, happen on the street and think he has all the time in the world, because he is booked and busy. Let me tell you about him, okay? Josiah Hyacinth is a proficient speaker, athlete, director, published photographer, acclaimed digital storyteller, and YouTube personality that popularly goes by Mr. 200 meters. His main passion is people, and he is a proud advocate for mental health, especially within the Black community, as well as being the founder of Tribe 318, which is a creative agency focused on providing opportunities for entry-level creatives. Josiah also consults and creatively leads multiple projects and organizations. Some of his experiences, and before, let me tell you about this CV. Some of the CV includes Nike London, Cantu for that hair, and USA Today. So I want to see you guys big him up in the chat, because this is not just some next person. So I want to see the claps. I want to see the fire. I want to see it all in that chat right now. So I'm waiting to see before I even introduce him, before I have him come onto the screen. So yes, let me see the enthusiasm. I want to see it. I know there's a delay, but I can talk through the delay, because I must see what is happening here, because this is a real powerhouse that is about to come. So please join me in welcoming the wonderful Mr. Josiah Hyacinth, aka Mr. 200 meters. I will clap. Welcome, sir.
Hey there. Hey.
Hello, sir. How are you?
So I'm good. I'm good. Sorry about the noise. I
No
got stuck in
worries.
traffic, so I had to run somewhere and find a
Oh
location.
no.
Short minute. So I really wanted to be here. So sorry about that. But I'm really, really, really grateful to be here. How are you?
Yes. Thank you so much. I'm great. Thank you for joining us today. We know you are so busy. going from A to B, always on the move. Because me, I watch your Instagram stories, I watch your Snapchat stories. You're always doing something, sir. So we are grateful, and we really take it as a privilege and an honor to have you in our midst today, and have you, impact knowledge on how to build strong uni relationships. Also want to say congratulations on completing university. Woo, 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 amazing. It's definitely something to celebrate and to be proud of. So we are truly grateful for your time. So yeah, I'm gonna hand it over to you. Take over. Tell us teach us. I'm ready to hear the wisdom. I have my laptop here for notes. So please go ahead, sir.
As a teacher guy. Okay. You know what it is? I really wanted to have an open discussion because um, I think university is so many different things, and obviously, I don't know if everybody knows my journey. My journey is that I was meant to go to like a different university, then ended up choosing like a totally opposite side university, as in, league tables. But it was the best decision I ever made, majorly because of what we're talking about today, which is relationships, and actually like building strong relationships in university. Only now that I finished, I've realized that a lot of the creative people like in the industry that are really killing it actually came through my university. Funny enough, like I meet people and they're like, "Hey, we went to DMU and stuff like that." So, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to make an open discussion because I work best when I speak directly to people, speak directly to needs. But I think university as a whole is an interesting place where a lot of us Black people, we go and we kind of just go to the ACS kind of like committee and stuff because it's the safest place,
Yeah.
It's the most familiar place, it's simple. But I want to encourage everybody that's going to university or is maybe even in university to also step out more. It's good to have that place, good to have that home, but really, really step out more. Because like the world is your oyster, right? But like I think even in that analogy, that the sea is so wide, there is so much opportunity out there. If you stay in one corner, you would think you discovered so much, but you've actually only discovered so little. So for me, I think a major part of actually like university in itself and building a strong relationship in university is doing everything, right? Just doing everything. In my first year, I think I joined the ACS committee, I joined the rowing committee, I joined the athletics committee, and they didn't even have an athletics committee properly. So I was actually helping cultivate one and stuff like that. So I was in this straight opportunity of like, damn, something new to learn. I've never done this before. And the most beautiful part of it was having to figure it out with other students like myself, right? And from that was where I was able to cultivate good relationships. I was able to cultivate new experiences. And it was really exciting. It was really exciting. You get to clash with different ideas. You hate people, and eventually after you hate some people, you start to love some people, and that whole experience for me was where I started to cultivate some really, really, really good relationships. Like for example, everybody knows me and Manny, which is one of my boys, able to cultivate a really good relationship because, we were out there. And, I think a lot of people, as they go to university as well, even right now, it's actually very tough. How do I make friends? How do I build strong relationships in a pandemic when we're not meant to be going outside? We're not meant to be speaking to anybody, like here, right? But the truth is, there is always a medium. I don't even know how university looks right now, but there is always a medium to be able to connect. Don't be scared. It's as simple as going out there, speaking to a few people, sharing your interests. Hi, I'm new. I don't really know what to do, but yeah, what do you do? What course you do? Those little conversations, at least first of all, give you the opportunity to build the relationships. I think the number one point, or even how to build really solid relationships, is to first be accessible. Many students go to university and they kind of go to their room and they're like, yeah, I want to get this degree. The reality is, if you leave university with just a degree, then you didn't go to university properly. If you literally went and all you left is with a degree, then you missed the point, right? University in its point, in its essence, and actually its creation, was to bring people from different experiences, different backgrounds, and put them in this place, this one central place. So if you leave university only knowing your culture, then you missed out. You missed out something. If you leave just knowing your degree, you missed out on something. And point being, embrace the experiences and learn different things, speak to different people, embrace change, challenge change. I think now more than ever, the world is moving in different directions, and there are more voices that are now actually have power. Everybody has a little. We have this little mobile phone, which gives us like this new access to this newfound power. Like, you know, um, look at the youth of Nigeria fighting, and it's now been equipped with this mobile device of power. Like, we have power. So I think, yeah, like, connect, network, use your voice, change things. Um, and that's like majorly the good stuff, really. So number one, be accessible. Go out there, do different things. Be willing to learn. Adopt the whole kind of learner psychology that you have, which is back when you were like in Sunday school or in school or in primary school. That whole entering for the first day, nervous but willing to just take everything that's given to you to learn what you like and you don't like. That's the first step. Be accessible. Don't hide. Don't run away. Be accessible. I'll tell you one of my strategies I used. In my first year, I decided to go out there and be the most known face for positivity. I wanted everybody to know who I was, but I wanted them to know who I was for being good. You know, so I decided
Wow.
I'm gonna go to every party, I'm gonna go to every event, and I'm gonna have fun and be nice to people, be respectful to people, like just consider people all the time. That was what I decided to do. And I remember I also, in that same light, I decided to have a million conversations. I said I'm gonna have a million conversations, which is like really like audacious, like really big. Like, oh my god, like a million conversations. But what that meant was I decided to actively speak to everybody. And what that meant is that I decided to accept different ideas. I decided to start to speak to different people, learn different accents, intonations. I decided to embrace change. And as a result of that, the beauty was I started to make lots of relationships, which actually enabled me to change my life. Number one, Manny, because of the relationship we had, and also because of the relationship I had with everybody who knew me and respected me, the GoFundMe that was made for me for my education, it raised a lot of money and I didn't know about it. By the time I even knew about this GoFundMe, it was on like £2,000, £3,000, right?
Wow.
And I didn't say to anybody, make this GoFundMe. I didn't say make this thing. I had issues in my education and I simply shared my voice. But because there were people who were listening to me, because I had done little favors for people, I had done little
Yeah.
things for people with a cheerful spirit. I had done, like the Bible says, rejoice in all things. I had done little things and I rejoiced in every single thing I did, even when it was task and even when it was annoying. Those moments where I was drained was the real moments that filled me up. Those exact deposits where I had nothing to give and gave were the same moments that filled me up in the times when I truly actually had nothing else to give. Um, so that was the realization. Like, damn, GoFundMe was made that saved my education, saved me from going into debt, and also then gave me opportunity to become who I am now. It was one step along the way. Secondly, I was bold. Number two is be bold, right? I was bold. I remember going to my I remember saying in my university, be fearless, be fearless. And I thought to myself, okay, cool. If I'm gonna be fearless, and if they're telling me to be fearless, then say no more. I'm gonna do the most fearless thing I know, which is I'm gonna speak to the owner of the university.
Wow.
So I was like,
Wow.
I got this business idea. I don't want anybody below. I want the owner of the university to fund my idea. Right?
Crazy.
So I did it. I dropped him an
Wow.
email. I said, hey, and I didn't know about no email etiquette. I didn't know how to do things right. I was like, hey, just as you guys have put be fearless all over this university, I believe you actually want me to do this. So what I'm going to do is I would love to share an idea with you and have like a 10-20 minute chat with your time and share an idea that I would love to do that I think will benefit the university and it'll benefit something I'm trying to do. And I was building a platform called Young Athlete TV, and I wanted to basically create short films of the students in the university and then amplify their profiles. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to work a camera too much. I just had a dream, but I was bold. I was crazy bold. I didn't speak to the secretary. I didn't CC nobody. I emailed him directly. I found his email, emailed him directly. And funny enough, within a day or two, he emailed me back. He said, hey, love to have a meeting with you next week. I said, cool, I'm
Wow.
down. Right?
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
it's crazy. Like being bold is everything.
That's
And
so.
yeah, and I turned up to the office. I turned up to his office. It was this section of the university, and beautiful building. I'm like, damn, I'm already discovering new places just by being accessible, being bold. I started to see different parts of the same place that I thought I knew. And I'm in this new building, I'm sat with him, and he's talking to me, and he's like, hey, what do you do? And I'm like, I do this, this, that. Haven't figured this out, I do this. He says, you're doing all this on university as well? I said, yeah, like, what else am I supposed to do? I love university, I love learning. And I told him, hey, like, this situation is happening with university. My fees can't be paid, blah, blah, blah. I just had a conversation with him, share the business idea. Here's what the outcome provided. The first outcome was, he said, hey, you're amazing, doing amazing. Give him 3 scholarships on the spot. They spoke to, he had his secretary beside him, and he was like, give him 3 scholarships on the spot. Like, that's it. That was it. So that was my first offer. So 3 scholarships there. Sorry about the noise, guys. 3 scholarships there. That's it. Then secondly, he said, this business idea is really great. I really love this. I really would love to put you onto a project. And he then said, speak to this person, speak to this person. The outcome of that was, I was put forward to lead a project with a £5 million budget, and a job role was created for me in university as a student in my first year, right? That was by being bold. And I tell you one thing I didn't compromise on. When I was sat at that table opposite him, I didn't change the way I spoke majorly. I didn't change anything else. I just illustrated my passion the way my passion was known. Like, I wasn't the best speaker. I didn't speak the way I spoke now. It was a learning. Like, I was a sportsman who just cared about certain things. And in that moment, he created a job for me. That was it. He created a job for me. And then after that, another aspect of what actually then happened. And obviously, a lot of people don't know the story. I haven't really shared it too much. I think I shared it once. But the third thing that happened was, when everything happened in student finance, and I got the loan. Initially, because of the issues in my status, I was meant to actually eventually pay 13,500. But because of that chat I had, that moment of being bold, that moment of being accessible, I received a letter at home. I was feeling down. I was like, God, what am I going to do? The GoFundMe went, the money was there, but it wasn't all the way there that I needed. And I'm like, damn, like, God, you made a way. And then equally also, I had another loss. Like, when the scholarships were meant to be activated, there was some issues. I couldn't even get the scholarships, which would have paid everything off. So life had gone like this, but gone down. But in that same place where I had hope was still found, right? Because I had a letter one day where they said, because you're doing so good, you're doing such great things, we decided to offer you a discount on your fees.
Oh, geez.
So that then brought my fees back to 9,000.
Wow.
My point being, this whole story is, things change when you speak.
Right.
Things change when you speak. Relationships are everything, and the whole theology or the psychology of when I say speak to 1 million people is because why have one person represent you when you can have the world represent you, right? That's how to get to deepen relationships. Everybody should want to represent you. Everybody should want to understand you, not for what they want from you, but for what you are, right? And that's by being accessible. That's by being the person that someone looks at and says, I want to know why he's so happy. Or I don't get why you do those things for people. I don't understand. And that's service. That's service. That's my third point. It's to serve the world around you, right? How to deepen relationships is to first serve the relationship. I think a lot of people miss out on this, to serve the relationship. The world is increasingly telling you take, but the truth should be that you should be giving. And it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing because, sometimes you feel like bread. Let's be honest, all right? You give, and it's like nobody's seeing you. You feel like a ghost. You feel like a wall. You feel like paint on a wall, and you just like, you feel so useless. But the reality is, even paint on the wall serves a purpose, which means even in the most helpless place, even in the most self-defined purposeless place, is purpose. Because purpose isn't what I say; it's purpose is what I am. Right? It's what's been ordained onto me. Which says, if I am paint, then maybe my role is to decorate that wall and make that wall look good. And maybe that person over there is a pillar. Maybe his job is to hold everything up. And if I spend too long looking at what the pillar's doing, I misinterpret what the beauty of my role is. Right? I had to realize in myself that, in certain parts of my life, if God made me strong enough to be walked on like this, and there's something, and here's the beautiful thing is that you're a carpet, but not only civilians walk on you, but kings walk on you too. That's the reality, right? So the level of who walks all over you changes. And then eventually comes a time when they don't walk all over you anymore. They say, hey, come over, like let's like come to the table, right? Like, and I can tell you lots of stories in the Bible of where you have Joseph, in the Bible, who throughout everything he's still in prison. He's still in prison. Got free, got snaked by his brothers. He's still in prison. He's still in prison. But the reality is, at the end of it all, he ended up in another prison, but the prison was now in the king's house.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to understand that within all these things, it's like the most dissatisfactory positions are still always purposeful. And in that one moment where he was in this prison inside the king's house and he becomes free, he got all the things in an instant that he didn't have before, right? He got given a wife. He said, hey, like, you know what, I'm gonna give you this house, I'm gonna give you a wife as well. Deep it. That's what we miss, is that what serving does is it takes away some of the enjoyable sides of certain things,
Right.
but it doesn't delete it, it defers it. Because I believe that God is the best accountant, which means anything he doesn't give me now is somewhere along the way. There's just surely a reason why I don't have it now. I mean, to put it in a real analogy, like in reality, one day I couldn't pay rent in the university, right? And I needed to pay 300 and just like a stupid number. Imagine like £350 and 63 pence, right? And I remember not knowing where that money was gonna come from. And the day of the bill, I had a tax rebate sent to me of the exact same amount down to the pennies. And I spoke to my dad. I said, Rob, I said, God is so funny. He said, well, God is a just in time God. I said, what does that mean? He says, well, the reality is, Josiah, if God had sent you this money 2 days ago, you probably were in the shop looking at some shoes that you really wanted. And you would have forgot what you actually needed this for. You know, in the moments of pressure, sometimes we try to enjoy ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We try to deflect. So in that moment, I realized, damn, this is beautiful, right? So you have to serve your world, and in as much as sometimes it's very dissatisfactory, serve the people around you. Go to university and be great. Talk, be accessible. Speak to people. Be bold. Be that person that raises their hand up in the lecture and says, "Hey, like I don't really understand what you're saying." And it's hard, but if you occupy that space and do those things, what you have is that somebody sees you, which gives you the opportunity to create something true, deep.
Right.
I'll give you another testimony. I remember in my university, in the first year, the person that saved me and helped write the letter to sign me off to basically leave uni, but retain everything. He eventually became my lecturer in the second year, and just by me being bold and just by me being who I am, what eventually happened was he ended up being my client. He said, "Hey, Josiah, like I've got this project, and I know that you do a bit of this," and he became my client. He said, "Hey, like yeah, like I want you to lead this, that," even to the point where those are the days where I was working on a project with Nike. So I'll be flying 9 a.m. to London, and I'm in Leicester. And I had an exam one day, and I told him, "Hey, like I've got this, like this is a really needed opportunity. I need to be here, but I've got an exam. What do you think I should do?" And he said, "Oh, don't worry, do you know what? Go to that because I know this is important to you, and I will sort out when you can resit. Just try and get here as soon as possible, right?" Things happen when you be bold. Things happen when you ask, right? To deepen and strengthen relationships in university, you have to be the person who's not ashamed nor afraid to ask. That's everything. I think that number 4. Let me put that as number 4. I'm gonna give you 5. Number 4: do not be ashamed to ask, and do not be afraid to ask, because opportunities come to those who ask. You know, the Bible says, "Ask and you shall receive." But everybody reads it there, right? But the Amplified actually says, "Ask and continue asking. Seek and continue seeking, and you shall find," right? Which says it's not a one-time, one-moment thing. It's that if your heart truly endears into something, then you put your heart into it, right? It's a continual stretch that you go again and again and again. And if the answer ends up being no, at least you discovered along the way that that's the answer. But if along the way you keep asking, that answer can change to a yes. You've created opportunity. There's so much that's happening around you, you don't even know. But you have to be the person that asks. because people are watching you. I believe that everybody's always watching you in this life. Everybody's always looking at you. The reality is, if you don't stand up, how can somebody see you? How can someone
Right?
see you? You know, if you
Wisdom,
just, you know,
wisdom,
I think about this. Yeah, no, it's true. I think about this all the time. I think about this all the time. You know, it says God will leave the 99 for the one, right? And I think to myself, what possessed that one sheep to run away? That's what I always question myself. Like, why did it actually run away? What was the point? And then also, then secondly, why did he chase it?
mm,
So that's that. It's like, why would, and here's the risk when you take risks, right? And if you look in the etymology of the Bible, right, of that verse, the context of it is when the sheep runs away, the shepherd would break the feet of the sheep, and then he put it on his shoulders. What are you going to
yeah,
do to get? What are you going to do to get closer to where you need to be? And it might mean that your feet may get broken, but what are you willing to do? You know, and it's
mm,
that. It's to deepen that relationship for that sheep. Like, imagine being that sheep, right? Being able to sit on the master's neck, right? And then because the sheep loves belonging, but also the sheep wants something deeper. I think about it all the time. Like, why did it run away? I don't understand. But damn, in my life, if it takes a little bit of breaking for me to sit closer to where I need to be, closer to where I can feel the heartbeat of what I desire, then it's worth me running away. It's worth me standing up. It's worth me standing out. It's worth me speaking. It's worth me being accessible. So that's it. Like, don't be afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of, because the worst you can say is the worst you can get is a no, but the best you can get is the yes. And truly, the yes is not even the best. The best thing out of that is what you become as a result of those things. So just don't be afraid to ask, and don't be afraid to do anything. And I think that's what I'm going to leave it as, because I think it's. I'd love to speak to anybody directly, any questions and stuff. But yeah, I think for me, how to deepen relationships in university, the simple answer is to be open enough to have one. Be open hearted enough to develop one. Be open enough to be accessed. We're so fearful now that we're going to get hurt that nobody interacts no more. The world's pushing into separation. Just imagine a world where we truly love each other, which we say we do. Truly, actually, by giving, truly saying, I'm going to pay attention to you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Imagine a world like that. And the truth is, when you imagine it, the truth is we then have to then create. Nothing happens without intensity, without intentionality. So for everybody, how to deepen a relationship is if we all of us here watching, go to our university with a changed heart and simply decide, hey, I'm going to do something outside of my character. You probably will have the opportunity to discover a new part of your character which will serve you. So your gifts will make room for you. A lot of us believe that our gifts have already been discovered. It's like, no. Like, God puts you in a place before giving you a purpose, and you might think you're purposeful right now, but you might not be serving purpose. You need to be in the right place. So
right.
that's kind of like me. That's me today, guys. That's me, and I welcome any questions. I hope I hit the point. I have a tendency to speak.
Well, yeah. Well, you hit the point, you beat it, then you knocked it out of the park. Thank you so much. Wisdom upon wisdom upon wisdom that I will definitely take. I have written them down. I wrote them down in the chat for people that weren't really like, they were kind of coasting in and out, listening with one ear. But I'm telling you guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Josiah. That was amazing. Literally something that, is so needed, because these are things that we're afraid to do. We love our own bubble. Honestly, I cannot tell you how, like, the testimonies, man, God bless you, because those testimonies, when the Bible says we overcome by our testimony, this is the type of testimony that comes out of like crazy faith and crazy boldness. So wow, wow, I am literally in awe. Thank you so much for that wisdom. That was so good, honestly. One thing that I
Oh,
want us to, okay, Ezekiel, go ahead.
wait, just quickly, because I'm even on the Instagram right now. I'll be so real with you guys.
I was just
We
about to
we
do that.
need we need more of you tagging Mr. 200M. we need more of you tagging Global Purpose Enterprise, because he came and he actually poured into you guys today. If you catch it, he actually gave you principles that you can use even beyond university. So
That's
I
right.
need people tagging Mr. Georgia M. I need people tagging Global Purpose Enterprise. You can't move on to at least see 4 people tagging him and Global Purpose. I'm on the Instagram right now, so I need to see at least 4 people. You guys have your questions. You want to ask your questions. You're not getting them answered until
Ask
we
them.
actually tag Mr.
Be
Georgia
bold.
M. We
Be
tag
bold
Ore. Be bold, just as
and
Ore
ask
said.
questions.
Be bold and ask those questions. So we need you guys tagging them now. We need you guys tagging them now, now, now. I'm even on the Instagram. I'm just waiting for you guys to tag them.
And
And
also remember as well that you can win a 20-minute conversation
yeah,
with Mr. 200 meters Josiah, which is, look, again, I've told you this before. If you know him, if you follow him, you know it's go, 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 go. So if he chooses and you win the 20 minutes, you better be ready to gain some knowledge, because the wisdom that he brought today is not enough. So I know you
mm,
want some one-on-one time to gain some more knowledge. So you better tag at Mr. 200 meters underscore, I believe it is, if it's not just Mr. 200 meters, and at Global Purpose Enterprise on Instagram. Um, Also, I'm waiting for questions, and no one's. I think, first of all, I feel like you really just hit the nails. I'm even me. I'm trying to formulate a question in my head, and nothing seems to be coming to my mind, because literally, I'm like, first of all, I'm mind blown, because that is just amazing. But what I want to ask is, for someone who doesn't have that type of confidence to be bold, how do they cultivate it? Like, how do they, say, for example, like, they're not that outgoing, but they want to cultivate that outgoing nature that you've kind of encouraged them to do. How would you advise someone to go about that?
Do you know what? I think it's a mindset shift. Let me answer your question with a question, and I'll answer it for you. Is, if two people were divorcing and one person says, "I just don't love her anymore," what do you think the best thing to do is to save that relationship? What do you think?
Change or
Not
leave?
change, love. One person has to love.
Yeah.
That's the truth, right? In a place where there is no love, it doesn't come from above, like alone.
Mm.
No, one person has to do that thing. The same is how does somebody who isn't bold be bold? Well, it's in the sentence: be bold. Try. That's it. It's about trying, and it's not easy, but it's simple. And we need to be very clear on that. Simplicity says it's possible. Easiness said it's difficult while doing it, right?
Mm.
So the reality is, for somebody to cultivate a habit is to create a new tendency that becomes a response. It starts with the small things. The same as love is, how you find you're in love with someone is not so much that one day you discover you love them. It's by the small little things they did all the time. So to be
Mm.
better, to be bold, to cultivate that side of you, which is not so good, is to do the small little things more often. And then
Mm.
there will be a time when you can do the one big thing. Before Josiah was the bold, oh, I'm gonna, the owner of the university. Josiah would ask everybody on the campus questions. I would know what this building is, so I can know who's there, and then maybe sometimes I'll walk, be like, oh nah, right. When I typed that email, I thought, flip, man, you're crazy. Until they replied, you know, I was crazy until they replied. I was crazy until I got this. I was crazy until this happened. I was crazy until I did something for someone. I think to be bold is to try a small step, find out what it looks for you in a small way, and do it more often. Because then you get comfortable. Like, uh, a child doesn't learn how to speak unless someone is talking to it every day, right? It's small things every day, right? And same as you, for you to learn how to do the habit, it's just practice. Practice makes perfect. Try with that one friend that you know. Practice with that one friend that you know. Try. You got a little bubble. Try to go outside within the bubble. So the friend's friend, speak to them. Do this, do that. Then one day, you would just do something. And you'd be like, "Oh, that was me. I did that." That's
Mm.
literally what happens. Um, that's my best advice to that. But yeah.
Yeah, wow. Thank you for that. That's amazing, and definitely helps someone, I'm sure. Um, We have our first question here. It says, knowing what you know now, what's the biggest lesson that you would teach your past or your younger self?
Okay, let's say my younger self in university,
Youngest self in
maybe.
university, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so my younger self in university, I'd say, if I'd be really raw, because I like to be open with you guys, right? I'd say stay away from girls. I think they're amazing, beautiful beings, but focus on what's important at the right time. That's the reality. I'm not gonna lie to you. I relationally, I suffered some stress from the ladies in uni. Stress that I didn't want, stress that also they didn't deserve. Like, really, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's like a real advice. What I'll tell Josiah, you know, that's the truth. But I'll put it in an umbrella term, and this applies to everything. I'll put it like this. I'd say hard decisions, easy life. Easy decisions, hard life. Make those decisions that feel hard. They're probably the right ones.
Mm.
And the ones that feel too easy are probably the wrong ones.
Right.
This is the reality. So yeah. Right.
Amazing. Great. I mean, so guys, you heard it. And for ladies as well. Come on, guys. Let's be. It's vice versa. It's not Josiah is talking about himself, but let me talk to the ladies. Stay away from the man them. You don't need them at the moment. Okay? If you're just inside uni, wait, your time is
You know,
coming.
I'm not gonna. I'll put it like this. Boundaries are not there to limit you. Like I think
Right.
people see boundaries. Sorry about the noise. People will see boundaries as like a lid, but I call it a covering. Like you're covered on purpose, right? Same thing, same action. One's different. One says there's something necessary about this, right?
Right.
For my drink to like be in the bottle when I want to drink it, there needs to be a covering. For you to be
Right.
able to be useful when you need to be useful, there has to be something there. And if you give too
Right.
much of that away into the wrong relationships or into the wrong scenarios, trying to prove to people that you love them or trying to do these things, you're gonna be empty. Like, it has to be so real. Like, you know, I spent most of my university journey discovering that I would trade certain things for belonging. I would, and I didn't know that I was doing this, but because one day as a young kid, I was in a relationship, and and the way the relationship went, she made a comment that I didn't think hurt me, but then it now shaped how I view the world. You know, that I
Wow.
never felt enough. So I felt like I always had to overgive. The reality is, don't open a door if you're not able to handle the consequences of opening that door. So it's
Right.
not to say to stay away from women. Like most of my friends are females, but the reality is, younger Josiah, the truth is, bro, you didn't need to be there. Even though you
Right.
wanted to be there, even though everybody was there, make the hard decision and go home. Because now I understand that my individuality is actually why I'm loved. It's actually why I'm demanded. It's actually why, yeah, like I said, like I stood out, and then eventually everybody understood. Damn, he's outstanding,
Mm.
right? Because I was standing out. That's it. So, save yourself some time and energy if you can, but ultimately it's making wise decisions.
Right.
Often the hard one is the best one because it's not your natural tendency. So yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, boundaries, very, very important. When approaching, so our next question is, when approaching someone new, how do you start a conversation that isn't awkward or doesn't end quickly? So like your usual, like, hi, how are you? I'm good, thanks. How are you? Like how do you approach, and start that conversation that you were talking about starting?
Number one, start the conversation. Number two, respond to the conversation. Number three, if the conversation dies, then it dies. But just respond. I think most of us often speak. We speak to try to we don't listen. We speak to speak, right? Whereas if you listen, you probably find something curious enough to ask again. It's the
Right.
truth. Hi, hey, what's your name? Oh, your name is if you're my, oh my god, are you Nigerian? Is that Nigeria? Oh, you're Nigerian. Oh, you're Igbo. Oh, okay, cool. Oh my god, tell me about that. Right? End your sentence and ask questions. That's it. Let your curiosity lead you. And if you're not curious enough, don't have the conversation. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, if you're not willing to accept the awkwardness, then you're not willing to really do anything. Like the reality is, the awkwardness is part of the process. But you want to fight through the awkwardness by asking questions. Or actually, this is how I am. Hey guys, hi, like, hey, oh my god, I'm a little bit awkward. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I'm a bit shy. Speak the truth, because the truth creates clarity. Like they're like, oh my god, you're nervous. Oh my god, I'm so nervous. Right? And then like, let me like, sometimes there'll be a painting that would DM me, and I'm thinking, wow, you're a fantastic babe. I really want to talk to you. And then the reality is, I'm being honest. Let's be open and transparent. there's someone beautiful and you like think, oh my god, like fam, I'll tell her like hi, like I'm a bit nervous, I'm gonna lie to you. And that in itself becomes a conversation point. Somebody laughs, somebody smiles. Here we are.
Mm,
All right.
mm. Yeah, 100%. Love that. Um, I think this question is very much like the first that question. Okay, so here's another question. Now it may relate, but if there's something else that you could draw out as well, that would be great. What are some mistakes you made that you wouldn't want new uni students to make that they can learn from you essentially?
I think I look at. Mm, I wouldn't I wouldn't take away any mistake. I think they're all useful. I'd say
Okay.
like this. I'd say I had this conversation with my dad today. So I looked at the fact that I got an overdraft in university, and I now use a credit card, and I use this different things. So I think the mistake I made when I was in uni is that truly, like in university, a lot of money went through my hands, and that's from the government. That's from all the things that you do as a uni student right here. So I think that in itself, I wish I would have paid attention to how to use my finances properly in university, and that's a whole talk in itself. But a quick tip, by the way, is everybody gets scared of overdrafts, and this is not me saying getting overdraft just for the sake of it. It's not about splashing cash, but you look at overdraft, and it's often some of the best loans you can get as a student, right? So, and if you're a business, for example, businesses get taxed after spending. So they buy the camera, then they pay tax after they've expensed the camera. Whereas when you work for someone, they tax you before you get your money. So I wish I
Right.
had been a bit more aware of my finances when I was getting even larger influxes of money. Like I would have used it more. I would have taken my money here and used it here. I would have just moved things about. I would have learned. I would have paid attention to my money. I would have deposited a little tip. Take £50, put it through your account 10 times. That's £500. Put that another 10 times. That £500 10 times. Or sorry, you do for the £50, do another 10 times. That's £1,000 gone through your account. Move money around your account and all those things, right? Because then the bank looks at you like, okay, like they're using their finances properly. That gives you in the future availability to and access to like loans and anything. Because you're probably going to leave uni, you want to start an idea, you have something for the fund. You have to start to build the credibility there. So I think that's the only mistake that I wouldn't say that there's any mistake I regret. I don't regret any. And majorly, I didn't make many mistakes, like crazy
Mhm.
mistakes, because I was very aware of everything I did. And truly, I think I want every university student to make their mistakes. But like I said in the last question is, hard decisions, easy life, easy decisions, hard life. If you use that principle, then even the mistakes you make are not so much just like something that's bad. They're just lessons. You take your mistake, you turn it into a lesson. So follow your heart, follow that thing in your stomach that says, "Don't be there," or your conscience, because that conscience is a part of you that's embedded in truth. Like the Bible says that God breathed life into the clay, which means that that's actually, like, I guess, in a very small way of explanation, it's like your conscience. There's a part of you that's always gravitating this way for truth, which means in all of us we have the same way that a compass gravitates to the center of the earth, north, and blah blah. Everywhere you may be, we have this thing that gravitates for truth, gravitates for it doesn't feel right. Or that time you phone a friend, you're like, oh my god, I needed you, and they're like, wow, like I didn't even know that I needed to be here. Those moments, listen to that spirit inside you, that inkling, that conscience, because that will help lead your decisions. You might still make mistakes, but as you sharpen your weapon, so can you wield it more often and better. So I think that's how I'd phrase everything.
Wow. That I think that is like the perfect note to end on because it's just beautiful. It is just beautiful. Sharpen the weapon. Say that again one more time for the people.
Sharpen the weapon more often, if you sharpen the weapon, it can be wielded more often,
Yes,
and
that's
it
it.
can actually
If
be
you
wielded.
sharpen the weapon, it can be wielded more often. That is a quotable one liner. Finito. That is how you end it. Quote it. Go and put it on Instagram right now. Write it in your notes. Write it in your journal, because that is something that is so efficient for any work of life. If you sharpen the tools that you have, sharpen the gifts that you have, definitely you will be able to wield it. I yield and wield it more often. So I want to use this opportunity again to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And in the chat as well, guys, please say thank you to Mr. Josiah Hyacinth, Mr. 200 meters. Thank you so much for being here with us today. It was an incredible honor to hear you speak, to have you shared these wisdoms with us, because I really have learned a lot. Like, even like I'm in my final year of university, and it's something that I still learn something, because you never stop learning. Even from first year right to final year, there's still something you can use, you know. So I really do want to thank you personally, and then on behalf of everybody, on behalf of Global Purpose Enterprise, on behalf of Andre, who couldn't be here today, just want to say thank you so much for giving your time and for giving these nuggets of wisdom to the people and to myself like you have. We will let you go now. I know you have the end of your trip to complete, so thank you again for sacrificing that. That's servant leadership in practice right there, you know, like being like stopping and just using that time for us and finding a place to just speak to us as well as you did and as candidly as you did was really amazing. We are truly honored. I'm truly honored. As always, I do honor you, and I pray that God continues to bless you and use you like he has been, and even much more than ever before. So thank you so much. Yeah, if there's anything you want to say, any last words you want to give to the people, or anything, just something extra to dash, or if you just want to say bye.
No, yeah, no. I think first of all, thank you guys for having me again. Um, yeah, like just thank you. And also then to every student is to be bold, to be brave, and you know, like everything that's now norm in its nature was once eccentric, which means that the change we desire in the world actually has to be done by someone.
Right.
And you know, like the beauty of it is the things we see now. Somebody dreamt about it twice, and someone didn't even create it. So don't be afraid to dream, and also then don't be afraid to create. Don't be afraid to be the first. University is a place that will push you into being a crowd, and if you stand out, don't be afraid to stand out, because that's truly how we become outstanding, by those moments where we say no, where everybody said yes, and maybe our hill now becomes harder to climb, but we actually then create a trail for other people. People now see a possibility in a place where possibility wasn't. I put it like this: sometimes God takes you through darkness, a deep darkness, to to insert a deeper level of light, I think. So don't be afraid to be used. Don't be afraid when you may have been walked on. That we play the long game. So play the long game and be patient, because you know money is moving as wealth, and our service is also moving of that wealth. Something is being moved in your favor. To kind of like round up, I met somebody because of Oprah Winfrey. I met someone, one of my clients, I met them because of Oprah Winfrey. How? Because he was on a show. I was good to one random person, and he was on a show with Oprah. And then they had one friend. If I wasn't good to the person I was good to, he wouldn't have brought me into the room with everybody else. I wouldn't have even done what I've done. I wouldn't have met the people I've met. Reality is people are always being in your favor, and to round it up, go into university, be bold, and have a million conversations. Make that your thing. Have a million conversations. Speak to everyone. Have a million conversations, because what's the point? There's like, don't why have one representative when the world can represent you? If a million people are speaking good of your name, then you don't ever have to worry about opportunity. I've come out of university self-employed. I don't do much but stay at home and work. I mean, I work, but still I get to travel if I want to. I get to decide what I'm going to do, and that's by God's grace, God's favor. And then also about the moments when I wanted to I didn't want to do it, but I did it. That moment where I didn't have anything to give, and I gave it anyways. So don't be shy and be bold, because everything will come back in your favor. Your gift will make room for you. You just don't know when, but things happen just in time. Always. Always. So yeah, thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bye bye. Bye. So there you have it, guys. we have come to the end of the Purpose Mentorship Program Uni Edition. This is it. From the start last weekend with Nia Cerise, then Stacy Geru, then Esther Boss of My Money, to today where we had ETS speak, and we had Blessing Adegame speak, and then we had Nella Gray speak, and then we finished it off and wrapped it off nicely with Mr. 200 meters Josiah Hyacinth. So guys, it has been an absolute pleasure. We want to thank you for joining us, whether you joined us for one session or you joined us for all the sessions. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we thank you for always being here to learn. Again, guys, this is just the brink of the stuff we learn in the Purpose Mentorship Program. So again, I am asking you, and I'm not gonna beg you, because I can't beg you to get something that is of good value. I shouldn't beg you, right? So it's something that will benefit you. So I just want you to know that I am telling you, and I am imploring you to join the Purpose Mentorship Program, because if you watched any of the sessions, think about how we get this twice a month in the mentorship program, and how we are learning, and how we have extra mentors on top of that. So yes, do join us on Purpose Mentorship Program, www.globalpurposeenterprise.com. We will be sending out and releasing the /mentorship, sorry, www.globalpurposeenterprise.com//mentorship. Application forms will be out, and you guys can sign up to this program where your life will never be the same. I can guarantee you that. Growth, leadership, access to opportunities that you never had. You find yourself in rooms that you would have never found yourself in before. It's for 18 to 24-year-olds, and don't worry, 25 and up, we got something cooking for you as well. Global Purpose Enterprise got something cooking for you as well. So wait on that, wait and see, because it's coming. But get your friends, get your sisters, get your nieces, get your nephews, get someone that you know that is between the ages of 18 to 24 to sign up to the Purpose Mentorship Program today. Follow us on Instagram at Global Purpose Enterprise, and make sure to keep updated, keep your eyes peeled for the next amazing event that is going to come through. We appreciate you, we honor you, and we thank you so much for joining us today, and for joining us last weekend as well. We hope you've been blessed. I personally have been blessed, and I am so grateful for these nuggets of wisdom that I would definitely take with me to whatever walk of life I enter into. So remember, be bold, be courageous, be accessible, and remember that God's got you. Thank you so much. God bless you.